Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to High Point Racing. Tonight it will be round 8 of the Tier 1 division. They will be taking on the 5.891 kilometer with 18 corners and 2 DRS zones at the Silverstone circuit in Great Britain. We got a good sized field of about 17 cars, all looking to use the C1, C2, and C3 tire compound. So the hardest of I believe it's the hardest tires compound to the softest in regards to tire. We do have a few new folks on the grid tonight. Came up from the Tier 2, Captain Clapjack. Came up from Tier 2, Mike Gaudio also came up from Tier 2 as well. So they will be racing in Tier 1. As so far we got 17 cars on the grid, and you can see we have gone back to the normal cars, no longer driving in the world cars. So they are back into the team cars. Just waiting on one more driver, I believe, and then we can get rolling. Shiesty has joined. That's given us 18 cars on the grid. But to bring up the standings after Austria, we got Sotsy leading the points with 161 points. Shankadelic in second with 96. Echo Alec in third with 94. Big Manry in fourth with 72. Castana fifth with 71. Prime in 6th place with 48 points. Deco in 7th with 38. Master OG in 8th with 37. And then Asian Kid in 9th with 22. And Like Me or Not will round out your top 10 at 19 points. Move on to the constructors' points here. We got Mercedes at the top at 234 points. The Kicksauber Ferraris with 114. Red Bull with 100. Ferrari in 4th with 91. Williams in 5th with 86 points. McLaren in 6th with 42. Haas 7th with 28. Alpine 24 in 8th, Aston Martin in 9th with 20, and the Racing Bulls in 10th with 9 points. We are loading into qualifying here. See, yeah, just pull up my track map. Here we go. So we got a grid of 18 tires, or 18 cars. Nothing there. Open on menu map. Boop boop. Yeah, we got a grid of 18 cars. There we go. So nobody has to hear me in between menus. But we are heading on to the circuit. Captain Clapjack is looking to get out here first. right behind the Williams of Prime, who's coming out here second here. But Captain Clapjack, a new individual that came up from Tier 2. I have ran a few laps with him pretty quick. Can have a steady pace, good qualifying pace as well. So we will see how he does on a debut here in Tier 2, or in Tier 1. It's all about maintaining consistency and a good race pace throughout. Don't have to be the fastest over a lap. Sometimes it's the fastest over a 5-lap period. So that is what's very important for Captain Clapjack as he's making his way off of Chapel onto Hanger Straight. But Prime here is going to be the first one to lead us on a lap as he's making his way out of Stowe Corner and down into Vale. And off the exit of Vale, he will be taking Club right about now. Right on board with him. He's got the power down up to 7th gear. And he's going to swing the car right over the right-hand corner of Abbey. Now on his way into Farms of Turn 3. All the way down into 3rd gear. And now it's still riding in 3rd gear off the exit of Village. Now down Wellington Straight, heading into Brooklyn we go. He's gonna brake just after the 50-meter board, all the way down into 4th gear, rounding through Luffield. Off the exit of Luffield we go, down Woodcote, heading towards the Sector 2 split, as we are actually midway through Sector 2 of Cobb's Corner. Keeps it within the track limits off the exit. Now into Maggot, through Beckett, and into Chapel we go. Off the exit, he goes a little wide, not going to invalidate, but sitting at a 103.6 through 2 sectors. Got traffic in front of him of the Mercedes, and that could be the Mercedes of Castana as he works his way down into Vale. Off the exit through Club Corner and heading to the start finish line. Sets a provisional 127.4. Captain Clapjack right behind with a 1.13 second gap to let's see here. Yeah, he's 1 second off of Prime Manson right behind as well, who's also a second off. Alan J making his way down Hanger Straight. See who else is about to come towards the line. It looks like Alan J is gonna be the first one as he's now making his run into Vale. Big Manry comes across the line with a 126.9, so he goes to the top of the leaderboard here with a provisional pole. L&J up to a 128.1, so 7/10 off. And Shankadelic into the 127 flat, nearly a 10th off the back of Manry's, about a 10th and a half here after his first lap. Mike making his way through Club Corner, and he comes across the line with a 128.4, so he's hoping to find a better lap than that. Likemere not working his way through Cops Corner. Castana off the exit of Club. He's going to come across the line up into the second row with a 127.2. Likemere not working his way down the Hanger Straight here, up into Stowe Corner. SP there at the 157 range, hoping to maybe do another flyer. We will jump on board with him in just a moment. But Lakemere not off the exit of Club Corner, not burning the rest of that ERS as he comes across the line in that P14 position. So he will be looking to have a better lap than what he has put out so far. SP is on a lap. He is burning towards Cops Corner in the beginning of Sector 2, now through Cops. Heading towards the tricky section of Maggots and Beckett's. He's gonna get the tricky, dirty air of the Mercedes in front of him potentially here, but he seems to be handling the curves nice and cleanly off the exit of Chapel, down the hangar straight, and he is gonna open up the DRS, cut a little bit behind the Mercedes, see if a hole was made for him at all there as he made his run into Stowe Corner, down the hill, in towards Vale we go, as he's making his way off the exit of turn 17, in through Club of turn 18, across the line, and he's up into the fourth row, right next to Mike Gaudio here in that P7 position, behind Alan J only by a tenth and a half. So not a bad qualifying lap from him to start. Alan J is working his way through Luffield. He is burning some battery. See if he's gaining any time as he's making his way through Sector 2. Let's jump on board with that Asian kid though, as he's making his way through Maggots and Beckett. Master OG still hasn't put down a lap. Saucy working down the Wellington Straight. Asian kid off of the exit of Chapel Corner, and now down the hangar straight, up the hill into Stowe we go, and back down the hill as he's getting ready to hit the heavy braking zone of Vale. All the way down into third gear off the exit of Club, cross the apex of turn 18 to the line where the 129 flat had not improved, or has not been able to put down a time that really launches him up, but Anime Boy goes all the way up into that P9 position, so a great lap by him. And it looks like Master OG has invalidated here for his first lap of qualifying, not looking good for him. Satsi making his way towards the final penultimate corner off the exit of Club, burning the ERS, keeps the car under control across the start-finish line, down into Abbey of turn 1, and off the exit. He is kind of glitching pretty bad here, but he's holding steady so far. Not exactly sure what is going on. Satsi will have to look into that internet, but as he's making his way off the exit of Village, now down Wellington Straight, the DRS flap wide open into Brooklyn's and now Luffield of the hairpin off the exit, and he's got Woodcote in front of him before heading down this little straight here, the old start-finish straight at Silverstone. Into Cops Corner. Does he keep it under control? Look weird on my screen. And it does say he is still within a valid lap. Now through Maggots and Beckett's, off of Chapel, and he's now gonna head down the straight of Hangar Straight up towards Stowe Corner. And he has a little bit of traffic in front of him, not gonna hinder him here, hopefully in qualifying, as we make our way into Vale. There was a grid penalty for a collision between Raptor and somebody else, but here comes Satsi across the line in that P5 position, so down into the 127.4s. Not exactly the qualifying lap he wanted here at Silverstone. Captain Clapjap making his way through Sector 1, now into Farm, and off the exit of Farm we go, down through Village and the Wellington Straight. He's gonna get a top speed of over 180 miles an hour, nearly 190 miles an hour down into Brooklyn, all the way through Luffield of the hairpin. Not really burning much battery. Let's see if he is gaining any time though, as he's trying to carry as much as he can off the exit of Woodcote in towards Cops Corner. Gonna crank that car to the right, just barely. And through into Maggots and Beckett's. Is he gonna be able to hang on here as he's making his way off the exit of Chapel? DRS flap, is it wide open? And it doesn't appear to be so. He's also not burning, so not exactly sure. He's not on a lap, probably not happy with it. Saucy here is unfortunately invalidated, but it appears he might be going on another lap. Mike Gaudio sitting at that 127.7 range. Nobody has been able to contend with Bing Manry here up at the top. Nearly 4/10 of a second separating him and Shankadelic in that P2 position. Castana sitting in P3. He is hanging on by almost a tenth and a half forward and backwards to Shankadelic and Yo Prime behind. Satsi 1.5 tenths off the back of Yo Prime in front of him, and then Deco right there as well, nearly 2 cents off, but Mike Gaudio following behind in that P7 position, currently not on a lap. Satsi, I'm assuming, might be on a lap once again as he's making his way through Sector 2. He's saying he's got a full second up on his time. We will see as he's running up the hill in through Stowe Corner, off the exit, down into Vale. He's now making his way off the exit of Club Corner, burning the rest of that ERS across the line. And no, it did not improve, so, whoa. That was strange, but never mind, I guess he did improve. Not exactly sure what is going on here, but we will have to, yeah, I don't know, that was weird. So weird. So he didn't improve, and that thing, you know, he's at the top of the leaderboard. Castana in that P4 position. It doesn't appear to be on a lap. Deco here working his way through Sector 1. And he did burn, goes a little wide through Brooklands and really deep and wide and off the circuit through left field. It's like he even forgot the track existed toward the right hand side and decided he wanted to test out his off-roading skills in the Williams. Looked like the car can definitely handle the dirt better than the track. You know, in real life it's more like driving a truck. But Deco showing those off-roading skills in that Williams, and he will probably be heading into pit lane or backing out and then getting regenerated. Yo Prime making his way through Sector 1, now into left field, off the exit heading towards Woodcote. He's got the Haas right in front of him. Got about 3 minutes left to go in qualifying. And Prime is not burning as he makes his way through cops. He keeps it within the track limit. He's got the traffic in front of him heading through Maggots, now through Beckett's, into Chapel, down through the gears, into 5th gear, opens up the DRS flap, burning the rest of the battery up the hanger straight as he makes his way towards Stowe Corner and then back down the hill here into the braking zone of Vale. Is he gonna be able to launch up the grid into that 127 flat? And he gets loose off the exit. Looked like he went through the inside curb on the exit of Club, or of turn 17 there, and got onto Club and went around. So that is unfortunately gonna hurt him here. He's got about a minute or about 2 minutes to regenerate that battery and get geared up for a final run here in the qualifying session. Arn Manson here working his way through Sector 1. See Captain Clapjack currently on a lap as he's making his way through Cops Corner into Maggots and Beckett's. Shiesty just starting a lap, but let's jump on board here with Captain Clapjack as Sector 2. He's only 2/10 up. Gonna be riding inside that top 10, just barely hanging on here as he's now heading through Stowe Corner down the hill into the braking zone of Vale. Fortunately, he used all of that ERS here throughout his lap off the exit, and he unfortunately invalidates off the exit of club and will be starting in that P11 position. SP working his way through Sector 1. Like me or not, through Sector 1. Asian Kid invalidated 45 seconds to cross the line. Jumps into pit lane. Master OG on an out lap. Manry not on a lap. Shankadelic currently on a lap working his way through left field. Trying to find the next one that's currently going to be on a lap coming to the line, and it appears it's going to be L&J here. We got 20 seconds left of qualifying. L&J now down into Vale. Let's see if he's gaining on his time here. As he's now off the club and across the line. He does not. He misses it by 8 thousandths of a second. The next one across the line is a Mercedes of Sotsy. He is on the pole by 1:26.3. Did not see his final lap of the qualifying session. But let's see here, up to the front. Shankadelic off the exit. He does not improve to gain any time. Castana currently making his way through Sector 2 now. Mike, is he going to be able to gain off of Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel? Bongett heading through Stowe. Does not appear to be gaining on time. We got a Red Bull Racing Bulls diving into pit lane. So let's jump on board with Master OG as he makes his way off the exit of club and comes across the line, gets loose, and that puts him into the second row, and Manry retakes the pole position from Sotsy up to a 1:26.179. Castana is gonna jump right behind a teammate, and we can already see the Mercedes here. First and second row in that P2, P3 position, going to be looking to hold off the Master with Shankadelic in that P5 position right behind him. So things going to be interesting up there. Shiesty dives into pit lane, so there you have it. Your grid is set for the fantastic 20, I want to say it's what, 26 or 27 laps around Silverstone. Looking forward to it with Big Manry taking your pole position at a 1:26.1. So everybody is choosing their tires. We got a dry Silverstone Grand Prix to start, getting their tire choices and their fuel, and then we will get rolling here on the circuit. I cannot wait to see the action that Tier 1 is going to bring here, and I'm excited to call it. Alright, we got 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the lights are out and away we go, and Captain Clapjack, antsy on his debut, he gets a jump start as Manry is overtaken by Stotzi through Abbey, making their way into turn 3, and there goes the Mercedes making a dive down the inside, and a Red Bull off the background that looks to be Shankadelic. I saw some debris, not exactly sure if anybody lost any wing. But as we're making our way down the Wellington Straight, Manry up to the right-hand side, around the outside of the Mercedes in question. And Stotzi dropped another position. He's really struggling through the corners here at Silverstone Circuit, as now he's really dropping positions off the exit of Woodcote. He's got to get this Mercedes back under control, and some action going on behind him. Prime and the kickstart Sauber, everybody spreads out through Cop's corner, nearly 3 wide, as now we're making our way through Maggots and Beckett. Are we gonna get ourselves sorted here? It's midway through the pack. It appears that we have done so, as Master and Castana and Deco have all really just taken off, and not exactly sure what's going on with Stotsy as he goes through Stowe Corner down into Vale, really struggling, and he spins the Sauber around through Club, and yeah, so he must be, something's going on here. As he's working through yeah, Sopsy's really struggling. Went from being on the front row all the way down into P11. So he's definitely struggling here in the Mercedes. And now he's down in 13th place. In the meantime, Mannery and Master OG out front has opened up not really much of a gap to Castana in P3 and Deco behind. But side by side goes Mannery and Master OG up into Stowe, 3 abreast nearly, as Master OG and the McLaren is going to come out on top and take over the lead. And from Mannery here, who's now sitting in P2 in that Ferrari, coming off a Club and down the start-finish straight. As we're now making our way through through Sector 1, down the Wellington Straight, DRS activated. Is Mannery going to go for the move down through the inside on the McLaren into Brooklyn? And it looks like the Ferrari in question has now regained the lead from the McLaren in that P2 position. Don't know what everybody's on for tire compounds. We got the soft for Mannery, so he is actually trying to open up a gap from Master OG in second place. Castana in third, and it appears a mistake happened in Mannery, and it looks like everybody here may be retiring, and I'm not exactly sure what is going on, as a bunch of cars are getting retired. Well, folks, apologies for a very long delay. There was a lobby restart after qualifying. We got everybody here into the new lobby, everybody into the grid order, and we are going to have a dry Grand Prix. It's going to be a few moments. People need to get their setups, their tires, and their fuel strategy into play, and then we will get rolling here in Tier 1 at Silverstone. Um, so it should be interesting as qualifying was pretty close through your midfield. Um, we had a little bit of a show there for the opening laps. Let's see if that repeats here in this new lobby. And we will just find out momentarily, but in the meantime, I will be right back with you. So we should be rolling here momentarily, is my guess, any moment now. And we will get racing as soon as we do. Alright, got 4 or 5 red lights. And the lights are out, and we are off to racing here at Silverstone. And it looks like Softy's not going to get a great jump off the line, as Castana was going to go around, but Softy's kind of lagging pretty hard here. As now Castana's going to overtake around the outside, and there goes the McLaren as well. Shankadelic, Softy falling through the grid off the start, and that causes chaos amongst the back between SP and Armanson. Looked like Armanson took SP for a ride there down the straight there in the back. Manry out to a 1.4 second lead. Castana in second place at 1.6 second gap already formed between the leader and that P2 position. Master down into third, Shank in fourth. Fifth is Prime, Deco in sixth. Seventh is Mike. Anime in eighth. A move happening between Master and Shankadelic, and it looks like Shankadelic is going to jump into that P3 position using the slipstream to his advantage. But Yo Prime is going to attempt a move potentially down to the inside of Ale, and wisely chooses not to do so. doesn't want to lose any more time than what Big Manry has already pulled out front. Over 2-second gap is on the soft tires compared to the medium from Castana and Shankadelic here as they're making their way through Sector 1. That Asian kid has gone around 10-second penalty for track limit already. Raptor fighting with Captain Flapjack as now looks like Manson Sim is going to be looking to challenge, but Captain Flapjack is going to work his way right by Raptor, and behind in the Aston Martin of Shiesty trying to get through the inside of Manson Sim there in Brooklands, but it appears that the Racing Bulls of Manson Sim is not going to let that happen here as they're now heading into Cops Corner. Up into the front though, we got a 2.4 second gap out front, and that is Manry. But in the meantime, Castana is dealing with the midfield train. Is the Red Bull going to catch up and make a move? No, but further behind we got Yo Prime looking around the outside of Stowe, and he goes off the circuit and concedes that attack on Master OG for that P4 position. Captain Flapjack does get by, but Bonget has a mistake off the exit of Stowe, and Like Me or Not also is able to get by, but Like Me or Not makes a struggle in through turn 16, and that allows Bonget to sneak right back through, and now Like Me or Not down in that P14 position. Manry did in the meantime set a new fastest lap as he kind of checked out to 3 seconds out front. Satsi, not exactly sure what's going on here, if this is AI or if this is the real Satsi, but he is down in that P15 position. Asian Kid retires from the session in pit lane. Unfortunate for him, he's going to call it an early day here at Silverstone, but we do have this midfield train all trying to work their way through as Master OG with a 3-second time penalty in that P4 position on a set of soft tires. He's got to find his way through quickly to use all of the rubber on those soft tires and see if he can try and close up that gap to Manry in front. In the meantime, Raptor up 6. Now up 5 as he's being overtaken by Shiesty through Stowe Corner in towards Vale. Manry with another fastest lap. He is on another level here to start at Silverstone, opening up a 3-second gap. But at some point those soft tires will start to fall off and the mediums will begin to kick in. Off the exit of the village now down Wellington Straight into Brooklands, and side by side between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. The Red Bull around the outside of Luckfield. Is he going to get the power down early? He does, and he's able to overtake the Mercedes up into that P2 position. So now Shankadelic is hoping to pull the strings here and see if he can close up that gap to Manry here in the lead. He's got a 4-second gap, and it looks like Master OG makes a big mistake and a more mistake, all from Castana. His AI has caused a massive pile up there through Maggots and Beckett's, and we gotta enjoy this. AI coming into play, destroying races. And it looks like we had a collision go on between Castano's AI and Master OG there in Stowe. Master OG is going to dive into pit lane, and not exactly sure what has happened there. But now we're all, Master OG is going to retire from the session. Very unfortunate for him. Saucy AI is going to stay out. Big Manry in no trouble out front. Shankadelic in that P2 position. I did send Castana another invite. Hopefully he will get in soon. The side by side between Deco and Anime off the edge of the Woodcote, heading down in the Cop's corner, and the McLaren of Anime Boy. It will be in a Williams sandwich heading through Maggots and Beckett. Yeah, I'll send you another invite, Castana. I'm not seeing you online, man. Yeah, I'm not seeing you online. Meanwhile, Prime dives into pit lane on lap 6. Falling through the grid. Gotcha. Absolutely. But we are making our way through Sector 2. And now Anime Boy is dealing with a little bit of pressure from Deco and Mike Gaudio here in that P4, P5 position. Bonger here looking to put the pressure on Shiesty. Shiesty goes off the circuit. Raptor comes through. Shiesty goes back off the circuit once again in towards the inside wall, more like the runoff area, into some people. We will have to check on them with the medical crew. Hopefully the people did not get hurt. But in the meantime, Anime is still hanging on to that podium position. Pit stops did begin rolling on lap 6, but not really senior leaders do anything here, as Manry out to a 5-second lead at the Silverstone Grand Prix. Not looking back, just extending the gap here in the Ferrari, and he's trying to close that gap up to the Mercedes in front and see if he can hang on to him. In the meantime, Shankadelic down the Wellington. Try and close up and do it again. Don't quit. Just try and close. I don't know, Castana, I've tried before. There's still a lot of bugs with the game. Shankadelic making his way through Woodcote. And now in through Cops. Into Maggots and Beckett's. As the Ferrari off of Chapel. Sopsy needing an invite. Club corner we go, with Shankadelic is sitting 5 seconds back from Manry, but 3 seconds ahead of Anime. And Manry has left the session. And now Shank is caught right up to Manry, and Shank is going to be the new race leader. Absolutely. anime boy. He works his way through, and Deco gets caught up into the back of the Ferrari of Mannery of the AI Ferrari. Shicey retired from the session in pit road. Not exactly sure what that's for, but now we got some racing going on here. Mike Mannery's gonna dive into, no, he's gonna stay out. Send him another invite here. I don't know, Castana. I'm not exactly sure. I know there's a bug with it. It's kind of annoying. It's like a hit or miss type of thing. You're going through the spectator menu, right? You're fine. Bong it off the circuit here, off the exit of cops. Okay, no promises, man. I mean, I know there's a lot of bugs with the game. Deco is currently trying to put the pressure on Captain Clapjack. Mannery here doesn't appear to have been able to take control of his car, and he's working his way in towards Vale with Bonnet on the back of him. Oh my gosh. Like Mannery's been able to take control of his car once again, and he went from being in the lead. Oh, that's wonderful, Sotsy. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Do you want me to invite you back or what? As now Mannery is looking to try and tick off some time to pick up to the back of Raptor in front of him, as they're now making their way down the straight in towards Doe, and Mannery was not able to close up enough to the back of him, as now he's heading down into Vale corner, still trying to fight out. Yeah, ref. I don't know, man. Yeah, I agree. Big Mannery has caught up to the back of Raptor, still on his soft tires from the beginning of the Grand Prix, and now he is looking to fight with the Raptor here in the Aston Martin to see if he can burn up any more of the rubber in these soft tires as they're heading down the Wellington Straight in towards Brooklyn into the inside. Dang, that's awful, man. And now Manny is trying to carry as much speed towards Cops Corner as he can. In this P4 position, 7.5 seconds back from Alan J, as he lost a lot of time due to a disconnect. So now he is trying to fight his way back out. Shank here is going to begin lap 12. Send you guys one more invite. I can't keep doing this all race. I know, I wish I don't see you online, Saucy. And Shankadelic is out front with a 4.3 seconds over Anime Boy in the McLaren. Alan J, like me or not, is going to overtake his teammate as Manry dives into pit lane here. And it looks like he's going to be coming out on a set of mediums for the last 14 laps here in Silverstone. All the way down in that P10 position. Let's see if everybody has currently done a stop. No, your top 6 still need to go into pit lane for their latest stops. Are you on? As now, Manor is going to be making his way from this P10 position to see if he can catch back up to the lead. As at one point he had over a 5-second gap. Through Maggots and Beckett's off of Chapel, and here comes Captain Clapjack. Anime Boy dives into pit lane. Where is that going to put him here? Off the exit, as Alan J, Shankadelic both stay out. Bonnet is also going to stay out as well. And now Anime, he's coming out of pit lane. Does he come out in front of the Ferrari? No, like me or not, it's going to overtake him into the new race lead here, as Anime Boy right behind him on a fresh set of medium tires. Gonna go to the right hand side and overtake for your new net race leader, as actually, like me or not, has not pitted either. So Anime here at the top of the grid. And following behind Yo Prime in that P7 position has already bought as well on a set of hard tire compounds. He's got a lot of work to do to get those tires rubbered in and then maybe find some pace over the medium. He's gonna go open up the DRS flap and work his way right by the left hand side of the Ferrari, and like me or not, who still needs to box, and he's gonna stay out one more time. Bonnet is in pit lane, and Raptor making his way through Abbey into farm now, as Alan J off of Village down the Wellington Straight. Shankadelic heading through left field, and Big Mannery up with the fastest lap. He's now got two cars right in front of him in the Red Bull and the Haas. Is Mannery going to be patient on a move here? He tries to get the grip off the exit of turn 4 down the Wellington Straight. The Red Bull of Clapjack goes to the right hand side around the outside of Brooklyn. And here comes the Ferrari of Mannery through the inside of left field. Now he's looking through the inside off the exit on the Red Bull. It's side by side between the Ferrari and the Red Bull of Clapjack and Mannery. And it's going to be the Red Bull jumping back in front here through Cops Corner. They didn't want to have a Hamilton Verstappen repeat, as they're now working their way through the Maggots and Beckett's. And heading into Chapel, down the Hanger Straight, DRS flap is going to open up, and Mannery already side by side off of Chapel Corner, and in front of Clapjack as soon as that DRS flap opened up. And as now, he's going to put his sight on his teammate, like me or not, in front with Anime and Yo Prime, your two net race leaders. Still waiting on Raptor along with Shankadelic to come into pit lane, as Shankadelic is making his way off of Woodcote currently, and Raptor heading through the Wellington Straight. FP looks like he is gonna get passed by Manson Sim here up through Stowe Corner. Question is, does Manry have the pace to close the gap to the cars in front and potentially look at retaking the lead, as he probably goes nearly flat out through Cop's Corner, heading into Maggots, and now Beckett, and then it's going to be Chapel, and then the Hangar Straight right in front of him. And let's see if he's gaining any time for an exit off of Chapel. Down to 2.7 seconds, not really gaining any time. Up into Stowe Corner, his teammate is the next victim on his list, as his teammate dives into pit lane. And now Manry's got one less car to worry about, as now he's going to make his way off the exit of the club, and Alan J with a time penalty. Shankadelic, is he just come out of pit lane? And that, still in the race lead. Yes, he did, over Anime Boy. So Shankadelic is your race leader here. Raptor still needs to box, as Raptor in the Aston Martin here, making his way through Woodcote. And now down the old start-finish straight here at Silverstone. Into Cop's Corner we go on lap 16 of 26. And the Red Bull of Shankadelic after pit stop is your net race leader. Raptor is just currently out here. He has not boxed yet. Your two Mercedes at the back of the grid. But we are starting to get our late race battles all forming, especially in the midfield between Captain Clapjack Mike and Alan J, as they make their way through Chapel to Hangar Straight. And the DRS is going to open up. Alan J with a much better run, as now we're heading into Stowe Corner, and Alan J is going to back out. Raptor decides to jump into pit lane. That will finally allow Shankadelic out front. Anime Boy nearly 3 seconds back. Prime 3 seconds off of him, with Manry trying to close this gap to the race leaders in front of him. He is 4.5 seconds back from Prime in this P4 position. Captain Clapjack, Mike, and Alan J all close here for P5, 6, and 7. Raptor's going to come out of pit lane inside the top 10 in the Aston Martin. So it'll be a good day for him. Not exactly the day his teammate Shiesty wanted. But I know who's having a great day right now. That's going to be your Red Bull team of Captain Clapjack on his debut, running inside the top 5 here in Tier 1, as he was a Tier 2 driver on lap 17. He's trying to keep pace in front of Mike Gaudio, who's nearly a second off the back of him here, as they're making their way through Maggots and Beckett and now Chapel. In the Red Bull out front here, heading down the Hangar Straight. Anime 3 seconds off of Shankadelic, not really gaining any time for the time being here, as they're making their way to begin lap 18. Prime 3.4 seconds off the back of Anime. Manry 3.3, definitely closing up to Prime in front, down to 3.4 now, as he's making his way into turn 3. And off the exit we go. Not exactly sure what this may be. That appears to be a lap car of Satsi, I think, that got in the way there. Not exactly sure what may have happened, but now Mike has lost the DRS to Captain Clapjack here as they're working their way through left field. Bong it down through the inside of Deco into Brooklyn, and he's going to overtake into that P8 position and is looking for some more points on his day. Jay all over that rear diffuser of Mike Gaudio. He is carrying a time penalty side by side in the Maggots, now through Beckett's, and it looks like Alan J is going to take over that P6 position with a brilliant move off of the outside of Cops. Got the run in the Maggots, was able to overtake the Haas of Mike Gaudio. Captain Clapjack in P5 at 1.1 seconds out front of the Kick Sauber in front of him. So he's looking to continue to extend that gap, but Alan J has closed it back up. Manry down to 2.2 seconds off of prime, really pushing this Ferrari hard here on lap 19. He's definitely trying to see if he can work to close down your race leader. He has a lot of work to do as he's now working his way through the left field, and the leader is heading into Cop's corner. So it's going to be quite a bit of ways for the Ferrari here, who's sitting in this P4 position. But it'd be big points for him to get a good result at that Ferrari camp. Fortunately, his teammate down in that P11 position is not within points yet. Sitting down in P11 just outside the points. The Raptor down the inside of the Williams of Deco, as now he's going to overtake. Is he going to be able to complete the move through Maggots and Beckett's? And yes, he does in the Chapel, but does he get the DRS off the exit? No, he doesn't. Here comes the Williams of Deco down the hanger straight, and he's not going to get the run up into Stowe. Meanwhile, side by side between the Red Bull and the Kick Sauber off the exit of Club across the start-finish line. And they were just battling side by side for that P5 position. Keep in mind, though, the Kick Sauber does have a penalty of 3 seconds. So if he does make the move, he still has to drive away. Manry caught up to the back of Prime, and he's going to overtake him into Brooklyn. Jumps up into that P3 position on lap 20 of 26. Through the exit of left field, down through Woodcote, heading towards Cop's corner. Your Ferrari has now jumped into that P3 position onto the podium, 4.3 seconds back from Anime in P2, nearly 10 seconds back from Shankadelic in the race lead with 6 laps to go. Can Manry make a move for P2? Is Prime gonna fight him here? As he's going down Hanger Straight, looks like he may. No, he's not. He's actually gonna let Manry continue on with his day up in that final podium position. And it looks like Alan J and Captain Clapjack has swapped positions here. Clapjack up into P5, Alan J in P6 off the exit, and Clapjack is gonna let the Kick Sauber through here off the exit. The Club makes a mistake, and that allows one of the Green Goblins to get their move done into that P5 position. Let's see here, Raptors still hanging on to the back of Bonga as they're making their way off of Village. Down Wellington Straight, opens up the DRS flap, as they're making their way down into Brooklands, and it's not going to be Raptor getting any closer to that Haas in front of them. We only got about 4 to 5 laps to go here at Silverstone. So the question is Manry going to catch up into that P2 position? Will Shankadelic make a mistake as he is heading for a victory here in Tier 1? Anime Boy Mike Gaudio with a 3-second time penalty, and Manry still hasn't been able to shake off Prime here as they're making their way off the exit of Club. 4 seconds separating P2 to P3, and right now Manry's taking Prime with him, and I think Prime is in for the ride. Anime 6.5 seconds off the back of Shankadelic. On lap 23 of 26, and it looks like Manry and Prime here are still going to be fighting for that final podium position, but they're not really closing up much to the McLaren in that P2 position. So Anime Boy has really dropped off the back from Shankadelic though. Raptor, though, is fighting with Mike here. Down the Wellington Straight, DRS flap wide open, and Raptor's going to try and attempt a move around the outside of Brooklands. Is he going to get it? And yes, he does, because that gives him the inside of left field. And there goes Raptor up into P7 on Mike Gaudio. Mike does have the penalty, so Mike needs to open up a 3-second gap. Manry finally breaks the DRS to Prime behind him. He is out to 3 seconds away from Anime Boy. Gonna have about 3 laps to do so if he wants to jump up into a P2 position. Now got him to 2 seconds, and here comes Manry. Manry is absolutely flying down to 1.8. Wonder if the pit stop difference between the two is starting to come into play now, as Anime is really struggling off the exit here. And here comes Manry. He's got him down to 1.5 seconds. Manry's got the McLaren down to 1.3, and he is absolutely flying here late in the Grand Prix, seeing if he can get up into that P2 position and minimize even more damage potentially to Softy, who is not going to get any points here at Silverstone off the exit of Chapel and down the Hangar Straight. 1.1 seconds gonna separate Manry from Anime Boy as they're making their way through Stowe. And it looks like Anime's really going to be struggling here. And Manry's going to make his way through into Vale. And Anime Boy has left the session. Not exactly sure what's going on with the game tonight. And we've begun the penultimate lap here as now Manry into that P2 position. Making his way through Maggots and Beckett for the penultimate time. Now down Hanger Straight, up the hill, in towards Stowe Corner we go. And out front by nearly 9.5 seconds over the Ferrari. Shankadelic has been able to manage to stay out of the internet connection issues and the lobby issues. And now here comes Shankadelic. Heading down Hanger Straight the final time. Shankadelic is now going to be looking to get into Brooklands here on the soft tires late in the Grand Prix. And once he took over the lead, he didn't necessarily look back. As Manry in that P2 primed in third place. Anime Boy being passed by a few other individuals, all because of AI internet connection problems late. Drops him down to P6. Raptor's probably going to overtake him by the end of the race. Mike Gaudio right behind as well. So poor result for Anime. Unfortunate prime with a time penalty here as they're making their way through Woodcote. A 3-car battle? 2-car battle? With so we got a 2-car battle with a AI involved as they're making their way through Maggots and Beckett. In the meantime, Shankadelic comes to the line and takes the victory here. Big Manry off the edge of the club with a comeback drive. Will finish in P2. Prime looking to make his way to the line here. And he's going to finish in third with Captain Clapjack fighting with Alan J down to the line. Clapjack, Anime Boy, unfortunately is going to crash. And now Clapjack comes across the line. Alan J in fifth. Raptor to the line. Is he going to overtake either one of them? No, he does not. Deco with Raptor sits in seventh. Mike in eighth. Bonnet heading to the line now, working his way around Club Corner. And like me or not, right behind him, down to the line. Bonnet is going to drop down and allow Like Me or Not to take that extra point here. SP with Manson Sim right behind him, heading into the final corner, off the exit into the line. And you got P11 and P12. And here comes the Castana of the Mercedes through the final corners. Off the exit, gets really loose there, off the exit of the final corner, across the line. And he comes across for that P13 position. 14. Well, there you have it, folks. That is your Tier 1 here at Silverstone. Shankadelic on the top step of the podium. Let's see what the advertisement is for Thursday night. Tune in on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time as your Tier 2 will be taking on Hungary. And then next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, or Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Tier 1 will be taking on Hungary here on HPR TV. In the meantime, I am the Johnny Damon. I hope you all had a fantastic night. Enjoyed the Grand Prix that was on displayed by Tier 1. In the meantime, have a great night and talk to you all soon.